get a couple people in here, and we'll begin. Damn thing. Is it too low? Is it too high? How's that? How's that? Better. There we go. How's everything going? Kind of a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of news the last 24 hours. All on developmentally speaking, so we're going to get into that. Figure I'll wait just get a couple more viewers in here. Check some stuff out. 6 o'clock a good time to do this? Should I do it later? We're going to test this out, see if 6 is better or 7's better. But lots of news today, especially if you've been online reading any of the media websites. One name's been mentioned a lot, and that's developmentally speaking, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. Well, there's some more people coming in. So first we can talk about currently at 952 subscribers, 48 away from hitting that 1,000 mark, which is a tremendous thing to do. WrestleMania and the WWE were so good to the podcast and has tremendously helped it grow. I'm fogging up over here. And so now there's a lot more eyes on developmentally speaking. And I'm 48 away from that 1,000 mark. At 1,000, you begin the process with so many view hours of the monetization for the channel, which is a positive thing. The hours are growing, especially a lot lately. There's been a lot of eyes. In fact, well, hold on. There we go. Sorry. In fact, what was I saying? Oh, a lot of eyes. So yes, WrestleMania was good. It's well over 300 and something subscribers, and within the last month. The view hours are insane. I went from 1,500 to 2,000 views a month to 120,000 views, not counting today, in the last 28 days, which is a tremendous leap from where we were a month ago. Also, now that I can speak to my business, I'm looking for sponsors for the show. My reach is growing from US, Canada, Mexico, UK. There's people everywhere watching developmentally speaking now. And I'm so grateful for that. And speaking of sponsors and stuff, I am trying to get a sponsor on board. We're talking, nothing official yet. But if you guys are into energy drinks, maybe Ghost is the one for you, huh? We'll know more shortly, but they have a variety of flavors. Look at that. What? All right, so be on the lookout for this. Hopefully everything pans out and comes through. That ghost lifestyle is what we're looking for here. Drinking the sour green apple. So yes, hopefully talking with Ghost for them to be a sponsor for the show. Talking to a couple other businesses to be sponsors for the show. Now that my reach is growing. So if you're in energy drinks, Ghost is the way to go. Now let's talk about this week's episode. This week's episode I released on Monday was with former WWE, WCW superstar Mark Jindrak. Many of you remember Mark from his time in WCW, and then when WCW got bought out, He was a part of that ruthless aggression era. And then we recently found out a couple years ago that he was originally supposed to be in Evolution, but he was replaced by Batista. Well, I sat down with Mark. We've been trying to do the interview for a while. Finally, schedules lined up. Did it. I know he doesn't do a lot of podcasts, so with that is the theme, with everybody on this show is that they don't do a lot. That's why they come on here and get all these exclusive interviews. And man, within the last 24 hours of or 48 hours almost of 48 hours of releasing that episode. I don't know what happened last night, but every media website picked up that episode. We're talking from 411 Mania to Wrestling Inc. to Cultaholic to Fightful to Ringside. Just every major media website, Sportskeeda, picked up, promoted, developmentally speaking, promoted Mark Jindrak. It's overwhelming. It's a huge accomplishment, I feel, to be covered by every media outlet there is in professional wrestling. They put developmentally speaking's names out there, and it certainly showed. The episode is one of the fastest. It is the fastest growing developmentally speaking episode ever. Now, granted, I've only been doing this 6 seasons. There's 12 episodes a season. Mark Jindrak's episode, the views are hour by hour by hour by hour. It goes up by 100 an hour. It's growing fast, and it's definitely going to help um, the channel, the monetization part, the meeting the requirements that YouTube requires, so I can start bringing on more guests. And some guests require certain things, and that's fine. That's how they make their living. But with this channel being monetized, that's what will pay for bringing these talents on. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is for that monetization to pay for those talents to come on here and talk. Plain and simple. I've always been transparent and honest, and there's a lot of people that I've talked to recently, and in fact, I did another interview today. I sat down with Bill DeMott. Love him, hate him. Bill DeMott played a huge part in developmental. He was a talent in HWA, did some stuff in OVW, was a trainer in Deep South, FCW, and was head trainer in NXT and led, the charge on the Performance Center when it first opened. So Bill was a for sure interview that I had to have on the podcast, and it couldn't have went better. We talked about every developmental. We talked about the Carrie Ann DeMott Foundation. We talked about his career, his love for training, and it was a really good in-depth interview, I felt. And I think a lot of people will appreciate this interview and see a different point of view, maybe. I'm not picking sides here, just report. And to me, Bill was gracious to come on here and talk. I didn't experience any experiences everybody else did. That's their story. That's not mine. So far this season, you've seen Elijah Burke, Flash Flanagan, and Mark Jindrak. Next week, it will be Steve Kern, I do believe, which was the president of FCW. So that's a really good interview as well. Steve is an amazing person, amazing talent. I really wish that I would have stuck down in Tampa in 2012 and pursued an opportunity to possibly work for Steve. He just seems like he's one of the good guys, and the interview was really fun to do. A lot of people have spoke very highly of Steve. So that is next week. I do believe. I can double check that real quick. Actually, I don't want to tell you guys false information here. Next week is the 15th. Yes. So next week is Steve Kern. I was correct in that. So that'll be a good episode. What else should we talk about, people? I'm sure there's a lot of new faces or new people that have subscribed to the channel here. And with sponsoring and stuff, I can add them, boom, ba boom, back here too. Can promote their products. Oh, let's get it. Probably shouldn't have chosen a green can for this one here. But, I learned the hard way. Is there any developmental talent, trainer, personality that I haven't interviewed yet that you guys would like to see? I do know one that will not, as for right now. I did everything I could to try to get Danny Basham on here, and Danny just lives a very private life now, which is fine, understandable. I respect that. So for the foreseeable future, that interview will not happen. And if anything changes, we'll make it happen right here on Developmentally Speaking. So I do know that one. Danny is from my hometown, so I kind of really wanted that one. But when the time is right, Danny will come on and we'll talk about his time in OVW. Any more exciting wrestling news? I know we're on this World Heavyweight Championship tournament coming up. A lot of people think it's going to come down to Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. What do you guys think? That would be the predictable story. I'm not sure if they're going to go that route. Things seem to be a little bit different under Triple H's watch, and we talked about that, in fact, on the interview I did today with Bill DeMott, is longevity, and how Hunter always wanted longevity with developmental and with these, superstars' careers, and I really feel like we're going to see a lot more longevity in the Triple H era because I brought up the fact that I lived by OVW growing up in that 2002 2005 time period. It was almost like they were just slinging shit against the wall and seeing what would stick. Um, and then if you didn't get over week one, you were released. They bring up another talent. Boom, boom, boom. Just it was a different time, and I hate that. There's a lot of great talent that got passed up on, and that's how this whole podcast came to be. And it is to help them tell their stories and help them. The main roster didn't define their career. There's a whole journey there, and that's what developmentally speaking is all about. Have you guys checked out the Mark Jindrak episode? Definitely feel like you need to. It seems like the rest of the world is, and I am so grateful and gracious for that. Um, it's not quite we're not quite at that Carlito return phase right there that happened, and I'm hoping more comes with Carlito returning at Backlash. I hope it's not just a one-off. He's a tremendous talent. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years of Carlito, with or without WWE. I did reach out to a couple more people, trying to set up more interviews for connecting through wrestling. I know that that's been hit or miss, and my main focus has been developmentally speaking. But I don't want to put out a connecting through wrestling episode that you guys aren't interested in seeing, or wouldn't be what the caliber you guys want. I guess I don't know if that's the right word. Um, I have been talking to some other talents. Um, I have my ways of contacting people and going through channels and um, really trying to get a lot of connecting through wrestling. But everyone's eyes seem to be on the developmentally speaking brand, which is amazing, tremendous. I love it. I can't thank you guys enough. I still will be releasing matches every Sunday. Some of those I've released 4 so far, and one of them has 500 views already. So I mean, like the matches are growing. So I'll continue to keep releasing these unreleased developmental matches. I'll continue um, to interview the people that you want me to interview, that you want to hear from. I do have a big interview lined up in June that you guys will greatly appreciate. Um, it's someone I've wanted to get on here for a very long time, and schedules are lining up for June. So once the interview is complete, I will post my picture of said interview, and you guys will know who it is. I did get talk with AEW today via email, and they had let me know that currently there is nobody available for any interviews with the 160 plus talents that they have on the roster. Not one person is available for an interview, which is fine. We'll move on from that. I tried. Um, Sometimes people don't want to take a chance on a smaller podcast, but um, if you're not willing to stick with me when I'm at this level, then I don't have time, you know, when this podcast continues to grow. So that's my outlook. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm grateful for the companies that have taken a chance with me and continue to take a chance with me. And yeah. So yes, check out the Mark Jindrak episode. The fastest growing one I've ever put out. Once, you guys let me know what time on Wednesdays work best for you for lives, and then we'll get a set time in there, and then I can start bringing guests on. But, that number needs to grow of people in here watching. It's just fine. It's going to take time. We're only a month in now, and it's been hit or miss, which is fine. Watch the content, message me, add me on Facebook. I'm easy to find. Add the Twitter, add the Instagram, the TikTok. Is that everything? The Facebook. We're over 1,000 followers, likes on Facebook. The Instagram is growing. The Twitter is growing. Please continue to support Developmentally Speaking. And I'll keep bringing you all these amazing interviews. And thank you to Wrestling Inc., to Sportskeeda, to Fightful, to Cultaholic. Thank you to 411 Mania. Thank you to every media outlet that covered Developmentally Speaking this week and continue to cover it. And none of this is possible without all of you. Other people are starting to realize that. This is a for sure winner, and it's a winner because of you guys, and you guys are allowing me to live my dream, and I greatly appreciate everyone that's on this journey with me. Share the videos. I'm 48 away from hitting that 1,000 mark. I know we can do it. I know I can. I'd love to hit it before the end of the week. I appreciate everyone's love, support. Continue to comment, like, and we'll continue this journey together. Have a good night, everybody. And one day I will figure out how to properly end this stream.